Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back. It's Jordan here. Today is an exciting day because we're going to finish building the Lego Zoo. The first thing I had to do was dig through this giant drawer of miscellaneous minifigures and extract all the cool ones that will help populate the zoo. I put all the fancy ones right there. I think those are going to do a great job of adding civilians to the zoo. They're going to be checking out all sorts of wildlife. In addition to the minifigures, I had to extract some parts from my drawers that are just behind me there. And I got some tiles because we're going to be completely tiling off the entire zoo. Also going to be adding some more details, potentially this coffee cart right here. And then just an outdoor area where people can sit and enjoy their snack. And I think this might work right here. Just sort of extract this stuff from this plate that was in my graveyard. Be able to set up a pretty cool scene. I do have some other plans to add some more detail to the zoo, but the first thing that I've got to do in this update is tile off the entire zoo. It's going to be rather repetitive. I plan on using these earth blue 2x2 tiles and also these tan ingots right here that I found on the pad wall once upon a time. Huge find. However, they are running very low. That's all I've got left. Oh, we used to have a whole drawer full, so that's sort of disappointing. And I actually ordered those earth blue tiles from Lego directly on Cyber Monday. It's going to be quite the task tiling off this entire zoo, but when it's done, it's going to look so much better. Do I have a plan? Let's say 40% of a plan. I know I'm going to use all these, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to get this whole area done. That's a lot of studs to cover, so you know what? We better get started. So the first thing I have to do is actually go through and take out all of those dark gray 1x2 tiles that are between all of the shield tiles. It's hard to get in there with the brick separator and knocking over palm trees and knocking over trees. It actually took me longer to remove all of the existing dark gray tiles than it did to put, obviously, the blue ones in, because popping tiles in is really quick. Also, I made sure to include some of those jumpers in there as well. So the 2x2 dark blue jumpers, so we can position minifigures in walking poses when we get to that point. I want to add some more detail to the front of the aquarium as well, like to the steps going up to it. So I'll have to do that later on when we add minifigures as well. Now that those are all swapped up though, boy oh boy, that looks a lot better. The easy tiling task is done. Now we have to do the hardest one with the ingots. Ingots are pretty cool, but you can't actually stick minifigures to them, so you can't put them in cool walking positions. So I am putting some 1x1 plates sort of among those. However, that is throwing off my design. I'm trying to have them all interlocking, so some of them are actually going to be side by side. Also, when tiling this place off with the ingots, I'm going to make sure that I leave a 10x10 spot open, so you can see me sort of working around the concession stand, because the concession stand is going to be actually embedded into the tiles. So I actually don't want to press down the concession stand just in case like I want to make some modifications to it. So it's just going to be sitting there loosely, but it's actually going to be inset in the tile, which is pretty neat. Okay, but this is like the worst ever on my back. Like I'm reaching 40 inches, I'm not really that tall, to the back between the aquarium and the aviary, and my hand can barely fit in that spot there, and it is just brutal. Like, it sucks that I can no longer extract these plates, but oh well, it is what it is. Just have to make the body sacrifice once in a while and do all the awkward stretching and reaching to reach the back of the zoo. Sort of sucks, but it is what it is. You know, I was thinking to myself the other day, we've been working on this zoo for a long time. In fact, I made a zoo playlist. And when you go to that playlist and you scroll down to the very first video, it's actually us going to a zoo to gain inspiration. And that was over a year ago. Then we built the aquarium. We went to another zoo. We got some stuff for the zoo. And then we actually started building it 1 year ago. It's changed places so many times throughout the city. And we've put it in different layouts, added creeks, removed creeks, and it's just taken a long time to get it where it is today. And I can't believe that it's actually going to be finished today in this upload. It's something to be excited about. Next up, we're over by the panther exhibit. Going to change the tiling a little bit. Going to use the dark tan tiles. Going to evenly space those, and then I'm actually putting the dark gray tiles between them. I think it gives it a really nice looking effect. Over by the monkeys, polar bears, and penguins, going to do the same thing, but rather than dark tan, I'm going to use the dark orange 1x2 tiles that I have in my inventory. I think it adds a nice pop of color and sort of changes it up. I've decided to hop over here where we did all the ingots by the bears and change this up. I had those light gray tiles under there. That doesn't really blend well, so I figured I'm going to go in there, swap all those up for tan ingots just because it makes it look more cohesive. And that's how it should be. Those were sort of an eyesore. It was a nuisance to get in there and do that, but it was definitely worth it. That's definitely looking pretty good. The ingots in this area over here. Oh yes, I love that. And that blue color is just way better than the dark gray. Adds a nice pop of color. Same with the dark orange back here by the monkeys. And then the dark tan by the panther. I actually like the fact that it's different colors. It sort of breaks it up. You know, like doing all tan ingots probably wouldn't look, it would look good, definitely, but I think the different colors just sort of make it look more segregated and separate from one another. So I actually really like it. Sort of differentiates the two areas. And you know what's going to make it look even better? Is more details and minifigures, because the minifigures are going to add a bunch of color and storytelling, which is always fun with Lego, right? So now that all the tiles are laid, I think it's time to add all the minifigures. You know what, before we place those minifigures, I want to give you a little behind the scenes look here and show you what we're going to be doing for the zoo. It's pretty exciting. I always like to edit midday just because I need to rest my back after placing tiles, and it's just a good way to break up the day, maybe eat some lunch while I'm editing. I got Photoshop open here as well because I came up with a pretty good idea. This right here is the size of a 2x6 tile. Yeah, pretty cool. What do you think I'm going to do on there? Well, look at this on the right-hand side of my screen. I got some folders. Bears. Boom. We're going to make some stickers for the animal exhibits. And they're going to be custom stickers, so I'm thinking this is going to be pretty cool. I'm going to print these on labels. I'm going to stick them onto the tiles. And it's just going to be a really nice added detail for the zoo. I'm really excited about it. I think it's pretty neat. I'll try it on labels, and then we'll see how that looks. And maybe one day we'll get some better ones designed and you know, put them on some actual professional made stickers. But hey, I think they're looking pretty good so far. The bear family. You know what I should have done is actually added up how many minifigures that I'm putting in here so we can keep a population total for the zoo. But as I add more and more minifigures, I realize that I actually don't have quite enough, and I actually take some from the surrounding areas in the Lego city, and I also go back to my desk there and pull some more out of that bin and just sort of add them to the zoo. Because minifigures are where it's at, in my opinion. That's how you add color, add stories, and just sort of have fun with Lego. That's my favorite thing about Lego City, is just telling stories with the minifigs. So I'm pretty happy that we were able to add those to the zoo today. So a little bit of arts and crafts time here with Bricksie. So I made these on Photoshop, as you saw earlier. Then I put them onto a Word document, just a standard 30 per page for labels, right? This is what I use for mailing letters and whatnot. And now I'm going to tape over top of them with packing tape to give them the glossy sticker look. Just like that there. And as you can see, I put a border, so that's going to be my cut line. And I just think it's going to look better with a border, especially when you put them on the 2x6 tiles. Oh my gosh, I did the bear family twice. Which one did I forget? Oh, whoops. That's hilarious, but that's my custom made stickers. It looks like I've still got some work to do. Which one did I forget? Oh, that's funny. Well, I'm not going to refilm these clips, but there you go. The custom made stickers, we got the bear family. Then we've got, for some reason, they don't bite. Black Panther, Panda, and also Banana Lovers in Africa. So I guess I forgot lions. Whoopsie daisy. That's funny. There we go. And now we have 8 stickers. Luckily, I didn't have to start a new sheet. I was able to salvage a spot, so that's good. Lions is printed. Now I'm up to the difficult task of applying them onto their tiles. There you have it, folks. Custom homemade stickers that fit perfectly on 2x6 tiles. My skills of Photoshop, Microsoft Office, and packing tape have definitely paid off. So everybody, the zoo is done. It feels like it's been a year in the making, and that's because it has. Pretty excited about it. It looks really good. It's sort of like my passion project that's taken me a long time to do, just to find the motivation and to finally do it. And it's done. You know what? I'm really happy with it. I think it looks good over there by the Ninjago Mountain and the campground. I'm sort of new to mock building, believe it or not. I just don't think I'm not the best mock builder in the world. I'll admit that to anybody. But I think the zoo looks really good. I'm really pleased with it. And I think it's sort of what I envisioned when I originally knew that I was going to build a zoo. and I'm really excited. It's good stuff. I can't believe it's done. Like, I'm just on cloud 9 right now. I'm so happy that it's done. Let's take a look at it. It all starts right here at the entrance of the zoo. On either side, we've got some nice double stacked bushes there and some trees. You can see there are some staff working the ticket booths because the zoo is officially open for business. This whole area is tiled off nicely with 1x2 tiles, 1x4 jumpers, and quarter round tiles, and you'll notice there's a lot of that inside the zoo as well. I love the reddish brown colors of the entrance. It matches the fence. Zoo in yellow with sand green backing and some bamboo behind that above the arched entrance with some palm trees poking out on either side. Immediately when you enter the zoo, if you so choose, you can go to the washroom because there's a washroom on either side of the entrance. And if you don't need to go to the washroom, you can go left or right or straight right over this awesome curved bridge that goes over a fish pond. The bridge in the pond matches a lot of the style found throughout the zoo with the light gray masonry bricks, cylinders, arches, tiles, and also the gold accents with those studs there. On either side of the pond, there's some benches where you can feed seagulls, I guess, like this young chap there, or you can take a rest, like these two old gentlemen here. Uh-oh, this janitor just barked at me though, because I forgot to add garbage cans, so I better do that with these brown barrels. Right after the pond, we have one of my older mocks, which has been retailored a few times. It's got some flowers on either side of the entrance there, steps leading up to a sliding door, aquarium sign above that. However, there's a lot more than just fish. We have polar bears fighting over a fish, which you would find in an aquarium, I guess. Then we have some penguins over here. This curved enclosure using hinge plates. And then over here, we've got another curved enclosure for the seals. A massive fish tank on the right-hand side, full of coral and fish. Inside there is a dolphin tank. And on the roof, we've got some seagulls and also a skylight, so you can look inside the aquarium from above. To the right of the aquarium is a large glass aviary. And inside the aviary is tons of birds, a really cool curved tree, and all sorts of perches, along with a little pond. Going over that pond is a wooden bridge. The aviary has an entrance, which is right here, and also an exit over there. There's an ice cream stand by the exit there. And that brown wall actually makes its way all the way up, so it actually serves as the wall for the back of the aviary, which is actually built into this cliff. And its pond is actually fed from the water up top here. You can see it enters right there. This really cool roof with the vents. Pretty sweet mock. It's unfortunate that these two mocks can no longer be extracted. It is rather difficult getting them out of place just because it's a little bit tight in here. But we've got a food stand or concession stand just out front of the aviary. Some employees in there selling some snacks. Just behind that, we've got a veterinarian showing off one of the birds. It's currently being rehabilitated. A bench right there. And this is where we have our bear enclosure. You can see the sign has been mounted to the viewing glass. And there's a gentleman right there who's getting his picture taken by one of the staff. The bear exhibit is pretty cool. It's got an angled viewing window there. It's built using tan and reddish brown elements. We've got the bear family right there, as indicated on the sign. Their enclosure is full of different styles of trees. Has a little watering hole there with a tree that has fallen over, like a log. And they also have a den right there as well, a stone den. With a tree growing out of the top of it, a bird's nest on top. And then this really cool backdrop, which is actually a different style of rock panel. It's built on plates that are hinged. So a pretty neat looking bear exhibit here in the zoo. To the left of the aquarium, we've got monkeys. This staff member right here is showing off a monkey, friendly little guy there. And that's actually right next to the cave entrance so that guests of the zoo can enter the glass viewing tunnels. Down the way there by the monkey viewing glass, which has a really cool angled roof on it in reddish brown. There is a place where you can pick up a hot dog while you check out the monkeys. Monkeys have a neat jungle gym there. A large tower. The chimpanzees are hanging out right now. A rock, and that rock is actually surrounded by water. Guests of the zoo can check out these exhibits at ground level or from the elevated walkway. Like I mentioned, there is a cave entrance right there, and that's how you get to the ground level viewing area. We've got panthers right here. There's just one panther jumping up onto his favorite log there. Sort of a horizontal style tree that goes over a little bit of water. Also has a leaf-covered den right here that you can hang out in if you want to escape the crowd. Somebody's checking it out from down below and from up above as well. If you want to get a panther souvenir, well, look at this. We've got the souvenir stand right here, and a seagull is perched on top of it. It's shaped like a mouth. As I mentioned earlier, all the souvenir stands and concession stands can be removed, and that is the one just outside of the panther exhibit. Also, the panther's viewing window is something new that I tried for the zoo here. It has the glass windows built into this interesting wall that actually has some hinge plates built into it so it can be curved. And then the snot work is pretty awesome as well. It's got all sorts of plates on their sides, and they are covered with slopes and tiles and cheese slopes to give it an interesting texture. And that was a really fun thing to build. Sort of a little bit different. I wanted each enclosure to be unique, and I think that makes the panther one pretty unique. The ramp leading up to the raised walkway is pretty neat. It uses the same technique as this rock wall over here. It actually mounts the plates on their side using snot bricks, and then there's all sorts of slopes on those walls just to add a nice texture. Some trees around that there, and then as you make your way up, you can check out the pandas right here, where we've got some farmers checking them out. There's the signage that we installed earlier in this video. Somebody down on ground level checking them out as well. Pandas have a bunch of bamboo, a little den, and also some water. I mentioned earlier that we're done the zoo, but you can never really be done building Lego. Just noticed that that was missing. There's always more details that you can add, right? And that's just something that's really neat about Lego. You can always build, destroy, repeat, and make it even better. Over here we have Africa. Got a zookeeper talking to the lady there who's extremely interested in elephants. An elephant in the watering hole, along with the baby. 2 ostriches and a giraffe with some cool looking trees. This brown fence here, which goes around the entire zoo, also has evenly distributed palm leaves back here. And the next enclosure that we have is crocodiles and flamingos. Pretty cool, just got some water in the center there. And yeah, flamingos and crocodiles. Don't worry, as the sign says, these ones don't bite. So you got nothing to worry about there. There's also some crocodile eggs. And somebody down there checking it out once again. And over here we've got a photo being taken with the lions. We've got a big rock there, some water going around the base of it, and then just some grass. So there we go, we got lions, crocodiles and flamingos, elephants, giraffe, ostrich, black panther, panda, monkeys and chimps, the aquarium with penguins, polar bears, seals, dolphins, a large fish tank, the aviary with all sorts of bird species, the pond in the center, and bears over here, and the entrance. I think it's a pretty cool looking zoo. I'm pretty proud of it. I truly can't say that I've seen something similar to this in Lego, so it's pretty cool. I really have no idea how many hours went into this project, but it was a lot, and that's sort of how I want to treat all of my Lego projects now. I don't really want to just take some green base plates, put down some green base plates, put down some blue water, and be on with it. I want to make sure that everything is detailed, everything looks good, everything has a purpose, and the space is well used with lots of different part types and colors, and try new things all the time and try and grow as a builder. And I think that's sort of what the zoo represents, along with the Ninjago Mountain and the campground. I want my entire city to be detailed like this. And I think the downtown is getting there as well. There's certain areas that look pretty good, like Pop Culture Street and the downtown core, but there's still a lot of things that I've got to work on as a builder and as a creator to try and make better things, just make them look really awesome, right? And I look forward to doing that with the improvements to the campground and eventually the canal up top there, and eventually the amusement park, what is it, 5.0, and more stuff. And hopefully one day like a medieval area that's as detailed or even more detailed than this. That's sort of why I haven't really started on the medieval area, is because I want to do a really good job of it like this. And this takes time. This takes parts. This takes detail. This takes a lot of thinking and calculating and processing and just a lot of resources as well. So that's why it just takes a little bit longer for things like this to come together. And you also need passion, and you need the drive to want to do it, right? The passion's got to be there. Otherwise, you'll never get it done. And it took me a long time to finish this one here and a lot of time to find the passion for it. But now that it's done, I'm really happy with it. I'm really happy with it. Looks good. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. There'll be little things that can be changed over time and improved, right? But for now, I'm going to consider the zoo to be done so we can move on to the next project. Pretty exciting, everybody. I'm legitimately really happy about it. So I appreciate you joining me on this journey as we complete this project. And thank you so much for coming on by. Farewell. Bye.